Welcome then to Brands Hatch for the first round of the Hottrax Motorsports Endurance Series, sponsored by Sorrymate.com, the people who help when things go wrong. Weather conditions are poor with cloudy skies and intermittent rain showers making the circuit slippery. Tyre choice will play a big part in today's success. Here's James Brennan to give us a complete rundown with whom and how it all works.
So this is it then. This is the start of Hottrax Motorsport Endurance. This is what all of these competitors are here to do. Over 47 bikes on the grid, a 3-hour race, and every single one of these is going to be looking for the #1 spot. Over at the top of the grid, we've already seen them earlier today. Split Lath Motorsport leading the way. Hudson Kenner, Jenny Tinmouth, absolutely by far 2 or 3 seconds quicker than the remainder of the teams out there. Second should be on the grid, Sweatshop Racing. They were here last year and the year before. They're one of our regular title contenders. If we start looking slightly further down the grid, you should see several of the 600s. Apex Racing, another stalwart of Hottrax Motorsport. They'll be here again this year. Finished well inside the top 10. Another little ditty for you. Over there, Keith Flint, member of the Prodigy. He doesn't mind the hoi polloi racing, I can tell you.
Well, thank you, James. Keith Flint, we have got some stars here with us today. I'm not sure about the hoi polloi for racing, James.
Yeah, very true. Here we go, though. This is our Le Mans start.
Yeah, right. It's legging across the track like a lunatic. Your partner's sitting on the bike. You've got to start it up. There's Jenny Tinmouth. Hudson Kenner takes the bike away for the first stint, and they're all the way.
Well, most of them at least. Looks like we've got a couple of stragglers just at the back of the grid. Well, the number 100 machine just at the back of there. One of the junior Split Lath Motorsports just getting away. And, that's the number 85 machine. That's Mark and Peter Dilks, who we may have seen earlier on in our Motor Grand days. But Hugh Brasher, Mick Godfrey out there on one of their machines, Sweatshop Racing. One of our title contenders, I think, this year for certain, Kenny.
Yeah, indeed. I think we've got Kenner in there, Hudson Kenner, the teammate to Jenny Tinmouth, of course, the fastest girl around the Isle of Man TT course. Not the fastest girl around the Isle of Man, I might add for you out there. Oh, he's still got a problem with it. Send it back to the pits and get it started.
Well, that's the way that it works. These guys have one transponder between them, and effectively, when they're out on track, they share that transponder. So if one rider does have a mechanical, they need to get the bike or the transponder back to the paddock in order to continue. And already the number 49 machine having some sort of problem. Looks like that's rather second-hand and been down the road somewhere. So it looks like they're having to swap over. Yep, shake your head. Definitely not your day so far.
Yeah, GT Racing, Brad Patras and Keith Tribe. There's Jenny Tinmouth and her teammate Hudson Kenner out on track in the lead at the moment. We caught up with both of them before the start of this endurance race to find out exactly what they were doing here and why they had decided to come.
So we're here in the Split Lath Motorsport Garage, and we're joined by Jenny Tinmouth and also Hudson Kenner. Guys, you are pretty regularly here. What, Hudson, is your plans for this year?
Basically, we're using this as a bit of a test, but you know, we're going to do, I think, 5 or 6 rounds of the endurance series, which we're really looking forward to. Hopefully we can get someone to stand in for us so we can have a shot at the championship, but obviously some of the rounds clash with some of the other stuff we're doing, you know. But we were going to run 2 different teams, which we still are, but me and Jenny decided to team up, and by the looks of the weather, good thing we did, because the rest of the guys, you know, are definitely out there to try and beat us.
Great stuff. Jenny, this is certainly not the same as something like the BSB Evo class, which I believe you're running in this year. What are the fundamental differences between endurance and sprint racing?
Just a bit of strategy, I guess. Obviously, because as teammates, we've got to plan our pit stops and just work out as the race goes on what we need to be doing. But generally, it's good fun and less pressure and just a bit of a laugh.
Wonderful stuff. Well, wish you all the best for today, guys. Okay. Cheers.
Cheers.
She's a nice lady.
Absolutely, yes, and very much on form at the moment. As we look at Hudson Kenner, his yellow armband already leading, and that's the number 120 machine. Well, that's Lewis Mason aboard the M&M racing machine, and of course these guys sporting yellow and red armbands. Slight differences, you'll be able to tell the rider on board. So as we saw earlier, Lewis Mason wearing his red armband, his partner in crime will be Robbie Moore, who I'm sure we'll see hopefully. But Hudson Kenner on the 156 machine already in for their first changeover.
Yeah, it's a Blue Jet Racing, Carl Hodgson and Ash Rothwell. Carl's the man that's going to take over and ride out. Yep, there he goes. That's his turn now. Well, every 30 minutes they change riders?
Yeah, every 30 minutes these guys are allowed out on the track for only a certain amount of time. They need to come in for a minimum 20-minute rest break before they're allowed out. We also have the number 4 machine coming in. That's one of the Derek Redmond Racings. That's Messrs Garnham and Rogers doing a changeover. And here's the number 122 machine already in for its changeover as well. Looks like a relatively swift one for them, so that's good. Of course, endurance is made up of stops and starts, and the quicker you get in and out of this pit lane area, the more time you're going to make up. 71 machine also, that's in for their grade changeover. Bonsai Racing, Dalton and Thompson doing their changeover. So that's the CBR 1000 heading out onto track.
Looks like Lewis Mason coming in to hand over. His partner Robbie Moore takes the transponder. They swap it from bike to bike as they come in. And how did Lewis feel about his first stint?
Good first half.
Yeah, great. Good. It's drying out up there, but I've got loads.
Track's drying out now.
Yeah, track's drying out loads. Changing the dryers now, yeah. See what happens. Hard though. Good first half. Pretty happy, yeah. Yep, good start of the season. Cheers.
Well, he's clearly quite happy. Well, 49 laps are gone, so they're into the first hour. It's tyre changing time, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. Conditions starting to change drastically out there now. So a quick check of the tyres. They've got to be in warmers. These guys are very much practiced. This looks like one of the Dutch Cross Racing machines, the number 14 coming in. Sorry, it's 1491 Endurance. And you can see having a special tank made for quick filling to make sure that they can get in and out of the pits fairly rapidly. Quick tyre change as well. And this should put them in a reasonably good position when they get back out onto track. Got everybody mucking in, but only a certain amount of people allowed to touch the machine at any one time. I think there's only allowed 2 people to be working on the machine. So,
it's Will Sawyer and Richard Stedman, both on. It's a Triumph. So it's a 675. Very professional looking team. You can see that fuel refill, Formula 1 type.
Yes, virtually like that. They do have the equipment to help them. Of course, looks like we've got a Ninja masquerading as a fuel filler in the background there. Well, some tyre wear very apparent here.
So then, after the first hour, 62 lap, it's the 120 machine of Mason and Moore that lead from Brand and Brown, the 2 brothers in second place. Well, the 25 machine of Dodwell and Hornets, followed by the 130 machine of Loveday and Torlen.
So, first hour completed of our 3-hour endurance event. We're stood here with M&M Racing, current leaders after the first hour in the National 600 and overall classification. Robbie, first race of the season, clearly things are going well. What adjustments have you made over the winter season?
Well, nothing over the winter really. My teammate Lewis, he changed his bike for another ZX6, but a year 10 model. Basically, we did a test here at Brands 3 weeks ago in the rain and oil and everything else that was out on the circuit, and then we rocked up here, and it's all going well, really.
So, what do you think so far is, would you consider the secret of your success to be able to get right up? Because you started slightly lower down the leaderboard, and all of a sudden you were there at the top.
Yeah, well, we had a good qualifying, and then the weather turned on us, so we sent Lewis out on wets, and then I decided it was drying up enough to stick a dry rear in. We went out with a dry rear, wet front, and it seemed to have done the trick. So hopefully we'll be there at the end.
All right, buddy. All the best for the rest of the day.
Cheers, James.
So welcome back to Brands Hatch for this Hottrax Motorsports Endurance Series, sponsored of course by SorryMate.com. Well, things really haven't changed during the break. It's still 120, the M&M team that are out front. Lewis Mason on the bike there at the moment, looking pretty good. And the number 4 bike and 2 bikes chasing him down, James.
Yeah, well, there's a Sweatshop Racing machine. Keep your eyes on those guys. They've done a couple of national and international and also the number 75 BLDS Couriers team. That's John T. Dixon on board at the moment, ex-British super stock, and what a lovely chap he is. Goes extremely well at all circuits. And as we watch Hudson Kenner on the number 156 Split Lath Motorsport team, I managed to say that properly this time round, Kenny.
Yeah, it's quite a mouthful, isn't it? That's to say the least, I have to say. And I wonder how they came up with that name. I must ask next time we see them. Okay, number 17 bike, well, that's the Blue Jet Racing.
So, where are you?
Third.
And when will you finish?
First.
Sure?
Positive.
Pushing for the lead.
Pushing for the lead.
What's the team?
Blue Jet Racing.
There you go, you've had a plug now. Number 5 bike here, that's the Brand Brothers, and they are racing for the first time. James caught up with them.
Martin, is this honestly your first ever race?
Well, it's our first race with Hottrax. We did one race last year with a no-budget cup, and this is our first endurance race with Hottrax this year.
Right, okay, so you're wearing a novice bib. Now, what does that signify for a rider?
The novice bib means that we've not completed that many races, so in our case, no races. So you have to wear the novice bib for your first 10 races, and then you can, once you've completed those races, you can get the bib removed.
So currently second in the overall standings for the moment. How do you think you've managed to get up there?
We had a lot of luck with tyres. On the last session, I changed from the wets to the dries. There's a lot of guys out there still on wets, so we had a big advantage there. There's a dry line around the entire circuit now, so I think we made a killing on the dry tyres, and I'm expected to go backwards now.
So clearly tyre strategy is pretty key in endurance.
I'd say more tyre luck today. It's not much strategy. We looked at the sky, it looked like there's no rain, so we stuck the dries in, and it's paid off for us so far.
Great stuff. Good luck for the rest of the day.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Number 17, there they are, just coming into pits. Decision by these boys, I have to say. Away they go.
Good, Steve.
We've got another half an hour to go yet.
What's the track like? Did you ride it?
No, still wetting patches. Still wetting patches. Coming out of Druids. Oh, back end and sliding a bit. Apart from that, it's not too bad.
Well, there is our very own Keith Flint, new to racing this year, and he's just explaining to his suspension technician that, yeah, the back wheel does go sideways every so often.
Especially when you open the throttle.
Yes, especially on that. Yes, that's a rebuilt Works Crescent Suzuki machine. And, that looks like the GT Racing boys having another spill for the second time. And, yeah, I think the marshal's given up the ghost there. He's had enough.
Yeah, that's Brad that's been roosting. Oh, it's another one off. It's getting slippery out there.
Yeah, it is. Well, the track drying out, so it actually becomes more greasy before it dries out completely. The number 69 J&B Racing machine, Bradlaugh and Bradlaugh, having a problem on the exit of Clearways.